This video is brought to you by Craven's Comic Books and Collectibles. Check out their weekly live show, auction, and sale at facebook.com/cravenscomics every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can check out their inventory at cravenscomics.com. Craven's Comics, for the comics you crave. Welcome to the program, Hunter Deno.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on to talk with us. Of course, you are Amelia, the Pink Ranger on Power Rangers Dino Fury. The first half of season 1 is now available on Netflix.
Woo!
And of course, it's had a pretty strong run over there on Nickelodeon as well. So what I find interesting is that you got the role of the Pink Ranger, but the entire time you were auditioning, you were hoping to be the Yellow Ranger?
Okay, so I had originally auditioned for Beast Morphers, and so I was told it was for Yellow Ranger then. So when I didn't get that and I got the audition for Dino Fury, I was like, oh, it must be for the Yellow Ranger again. So I just wore yellow through the entire thing because I'm like, you should envision me as Yellow Ranger. And then I got the call and they were like, congratulations, you're going to New Zealand. You're the next Pink Power Ranger. And I was like, Pink? I was like, oh, wait. That's really cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I like the idea of the power of suggestion. You're gonna wear all yellow, and just put it in there.
Yeah.
For some reason though, apparently yellow made them think pink. So hey.
There you go.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
As long as you're one of the primary colors of the show, you're good.
As long as I'm a Power Ranger in general, give me whatever color.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was gonna say, it's not like you're gonna go, I'm Pink Ranger. Nah, son. I
don't want it. Sorry.
I meant to be yellow. I wore the yellow.
I did. I was like, what happened to yellow? And then I was like, wait, pink's like great. Are you joking me? I was like, great. Thank you so much.
You got the job. That's the important part.
Yes.
Oh man, but with the show, Amelia's character is a ghost-obsessed reporter.
Yes.
So, do you yourself also have a liking to the paranormal?
I do love horror and I love scary movies and like scary things and stuff. I'm not obsessed with trying to figure out if ghosts are real. I don't really have a reason to, as later on you will see that Amelia does have a reason for why she is so obsessed.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a healthy idea to not want to be around ghosts. That's me personally. I think ghosts are cool. They just need to be where they are, and we'll be where we are. And I don't think
that's the deal. It's like if you're a ghost and you just want to hang, that's cool. Just don't mess with my shit. That's all.
Yeah, as long as they don't mess with me, they can live and roam freely.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with Casper. Casper's cool. He comes flying through, does things, has some jokes. I don't need no poltergeist shit. That's what I'm saying.
I will say that the live action with Devon Sawa still creeps me out with the Casper. So, oh man,
so strange.
That is pretty strange. But yeah, that the McScary Mansion episode, I noticed that your character really got to deep dive into trying to find the ghost there.
Yeah.
And also at one point you had to do some fighting with your hands tied behind your back. So what was it like? What was it like doing the choreography for that?
Okay, so we don't get a ton of time to learn choreography, but that's also just because we're so fast paced that sometimes they don't even know until we know. We film so fast. So it was great. They were like, I think we had a fitting with the mummy wrap around me, but it was pretty much like the day before, and they were like, we're just gonna see how sturdy this is for you. Our director at the time, Charlie Haskell, he was really adamant about it having some sort of safe fall. Like if I fell or something and needed my arms, it would pop open. He wanted me to be safe at all times. So it ended up having like magnets on one side. So that way I can pop open if I need to, but they were strong enough to where they didn't come undone just with a little nudge. I learned it first with hands, but I just held my hands behind my back and learned it. So that way I could use it if I needed to, just like learning, but it was definitely interesting. Definitely had to stretch because most of it was kicks. Needed to stretch that entire week, but I did not, but that's okay. It was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. It was something that I can now cross off my bucket list that I didn't even know was on it. So
there you go. That's awesome. So speaking of the choreography, like obviously fighting is a big part of the show. You know, like it's not the only part, as we all know, but it's a big part. So going into it, you know, like how comfortable were you with being that physical all the time in the show? Like obviously you knew it was an aspect of the show, but like you personally, as a performer, how comfortable are you with the fighting?
I'm actually quite confident in my stage combat skill. During the audition process for Power Rangers, I took like 5 days and I like trained for like 5 hours a day in the middle of the heat in LA. So like my scalp was like sunburned and everything because I just did it in the middle of the day for some reason. I was like, Cali heat, yay. I don't know. So
wait a second. What if I learn this at the hottest point of the day? Does that sound like a good plan? Yes, it does.
It was the worst plan ever, but it was great because I got to train really, really hard and really good. And then I also got some really good footage, which resulted in me sending it into Power Rangers, and maybe it helped me.
Nice.
So I have done some training in the past and I have a little skill. And I also was a cheerleader,
Okay.
so I can do flips and stuff.
Yeah, that usually helps. Usually it seems like everybody in Power Rangers has some kind of movement in their background, whether it's dancing or martial arts. You know, that's cool. You know, like I just think about like coming into it and like for you coming from like a cheer background and having those movements, but then having to learn like all that kind of crazy martial arts choreography, and like you said, you don't get a lot of time, so that must add like extra pressure. You know, for each episode you guys are getting prepared for.
It does, in a sense of like we want to do the best for the job, but like they wouldn't give us a piece of choreography that they knew we couldn't do.
Okay.
We had 3 weeks of training before we started filming, and it was with the entire stunt team, all the stunt coordinators, all the stunt directors. So they like got to watch us and see what our skill was and see what we were comfortable with and what we weren't comfortable with. So they would never give us anything that we're not comfortable with. And also, if we started to learn the choreography and we felt like we couldn't do something, they would change it to something that we were okay with doing. So like they were such an amazing team, and they just wanted us to be safe, but also like look really good at the same time. So well,
that's what it's really all about, right? You gotta look badass when you're doing those kicks and and everything else. Like it's because why else do it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man. We actually got to talk with Chance a few months ago. And at the time I had just seen the video of Kai doing the body shot challenge with him. And I wanted to know, at any point, did you take the body shot challenge?
Kai wore it and I did the challenge that way. And I told him, I was like, you know what? I want to put it on and I just want one solid punch from you. And honestly, I'm really glad that it didn't happen because like, I don't know if you saw Kai's latest video of just like him, but like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't. And there was one part of me, I was like, I'm built different. I'm tough. I can take it. I'm the pink Power Ranger, you know? And now I'm like really seeing him punch and I'm really happy that I didn't do it.
Even the pink Power Ranger, trained boxer, pink Power Ranger, you know.
I mean, we did have work the next day.
Well, you know, honestly, it's all about knowing your limits, right? There's nothing wrong with knowing your limits. Like, for example, I don't try to walk outside too often because that's my limit. The front door, front door is I never leave. I know my limit.
As long as you know your limits, as long as you know them.
He's very safe in the house.
That's right. Because if I go outside, I'll just melt like a crayon in the sun. It's just like.
Oh my God! Yeah.
That's why I couldn't do what you did when you were talking about training in the middle of the day in California's heat. Like, nope.
Yeah, he's out.
I don't know how I did it though. Dedication, I guess. I just really wanted the job.
There you go, and it paid off. Hard work pays off, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so during the filming, you were in New Zealand for quite a bit of time. When you first got there, that was during a period where New Zealand had no cases of COVID, and it was like you guys were basically living regular life. And then, of course, I think it was after one of you guys' breaks, you guys had to start bringing in some of the precautions because there was some cases found in New Zealand and new restrictions were put in place. What was it like to go from such an open set to one that had restrictions?
Okay, so when we first got to New Zealand, we had to do the 2-week quarantine. And when we got out, they were still technically in level 2. So our first 2 weeks of training and rehearsals, we had to wear masks.
Okay.
Because level 2 masks are required, but there's still no restrictions as long as there's masks. That was lifted. And so when we started filming, there was nothing. We were on level 1, so no masks, no nothing, unless you just wanted to. So we started filming with absolutely like COVID didn't exist. And then actually like a month or 2 in, so Tessa and I lived in the same building, and we had both gotten done with work early that day. And when we got home, we found out that out of the entire country, there happened to be one case in our apartment building.
Oh.
One case in the entire country, and it was in our apartment building. So we had to go get tested immediately, and then we had to stay into our apartments until we got a negative test result. But luckily, we worked Sunday to Thursday. So luckily, that was a Thursday. So we had all weekend. So it didn't stop production.
Oh, that's great.
The only thing it did was it sent us into level 2, I believe. So masks again. And then, but when there was masks, there wasn't much difference on set, just because at level 2, there's only the mask precaution. I mean, our safety walks around like giving us vitamins if we need a new mask, hand sanitizer, anything like that. And then there was one time where there was twice that we went into lockdown. So we didn't film for like 3 days. We took like a 3-day hiatus or something. Now that was a little harder because we did go from level 3 to level 2 because we couldn't film in level 3. So only in level 2. And then obviously going back to that, it was just a little more strict. So, so like the least amount of people to touch you possible, only wardrobe, only makeup, just stuff like that. But like I have friends here in the States who are like triple masking it, like color zones and all this stuff. So I feel like we got really lucky.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. Like we talked to an actor from This Is Us, and they had like basically little like hockey penalty boxes built around them when they were not shooting. Like, it was crazy stuff. Oh my God.
If honestly, if you could choose anywhere in the world to be during COVID, New Zealand was the place to be, right? Like,
100%. Yeah.
That, and on top of everything else, it's just a beautiful place anyways.
Oh God, yeah.
It is. I have 0 words to explain how beautiful that country is. I feel like it's so underrated, but like, go if you can. Just go if you can.
Well, honestly, I've never had a chance to go because, like there's a part of me that just like looks at that, that 24-hour flight type of thing and I just go, I don't know.
And then there's also the case that Mr. Green can't leave his house.
Well, there is that, so until the plane actually,
this is true.
Yeah, when they lift the house and take it like an up or something, I gotta get some balloons or something. But yeah, It's a beautiful looking place. I saw like on Instagram some of your photos while you were there. Like it's just amazing to look at. Like, so getting to do that like obviously you really it really must have put a cramp in your style to have to be in New Zealand all that time, in that country.
It must have been so hard.
Like it's hard.
It was just like, I didn't ask for it. So no. But for real, like, not only am I blessed to be a part of the Power Rangers legacy, it was just really such an awesome opportunity to be able to go to a different, because I've only ever been to Canada. So I've never been like outside of Northern America. So like North America. So I was thrilled to get to go to one of the most beautiful countries on earth to film one of the most legendary series there is. Like, it's just blessed all around.
Oh no, totally. Yeah. Now, one last thing that I wanted to bring up is that there was a period during, I think, the pre-production that the showrunners thought maybe Amelia should be a blonde?
Yeah, okay. So during the audition process, my agent was like, hey, we're wondering like if you're willing to go blonde. And I was like, let me check something. So I downloaded an app on my phone. I took some selfies. I changed my hair. I was like, yes, let's do it. So I actually didn't know that I was going blonde 100% until I was in quarantine and we did our first like welcome Zooms and everything. So super stoked about that. Yeah, I was blonde for exactly 1 week. We did all the extensions, dyed my hair, we did the camera test, and then 1 week later, Kevin Duffy, our director of hair and makeup, he sat me down and was like, do you want the good news or the bad news? And I was like, bad news first, always. He was like, we're gonna take you back brunette. And I was like, okay, what's the good news? And he was like, we're gonna do it right now. And I was like, okay, first of all, that's not really good news because I haven't had any time to sit with that. But also like, okay, cool. And he was like, are you okay? Like, I feel like we're more upset than you are. And I was like, well, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, I was like, I do wish I had like one day to like sit and do whatever I wanted to do while I was blonde, because like I hadn't done any of like the TikToks that I wanted to do of like me transitioning, and I didn't take enough pictures or anything. But that was like the worst part of that.
Well, honestly, it's the job, right? So it's like, you're going to leave the job over a hair color. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? You got a great job. You're in a great country, nah, it's like,
No, that's where I'm out.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
it. That's where you draw the line.
And you never got to test the theory if blondes have more fun.
I did for a week, but I didn't even, I only had like 2 weekend dates because the rest of the time I was at rehearsal or training. So I really didn't. I had like 2 days. Okay, I had 2 days to test it.
2 days to test it, eh?
Hey, that's better than nothing, right? Now, Hunter,
I
I got to ask you something that I'm very curious about. I was going through the Instagram, went deep on the Insta, and I got to understand this if you can. What was going on with the 7-Eleven cup? Like you got drink all over your face. Like I was just like, what is with this image?
So my best friend is Madison Bailey. She's on Outer Banks. She plays Kiara. And I actually know who plays JJ Rudy and John B. Chase. I actually knew them before that production as well. And Rudy, who plays JJ, posted this really fun picture of him pouring his orange soda on him. And I was like, honestly, I'm going to recreate it. Like for the heck of it, like for giggles, for fun. I was like, this is going to be terrible and I'm going to hate it. But I really liked the photo and I wanted to show him that I liked it.
Well, I was like, because I'm going through your Insta is like, it's these beautiful photos and these beautiful places, and like you're very beautiful, and it's like it's just really nice, and then all of a sudden it's just you covered in pop. It's like and it's a huge. I was like, what just happened?
Well, I also am like a goofball. Like that's just who I am. So like I want to show everyone that's who I am too. Like I'm like I can pour orange soda on my face for probably an hour to get one picture. I went through like 2 liters of bottles of orange soda.
I was like, did I miss another challenge? Is one of these things like viral challenges going around? Like
it didn't catch on, if anything. So maybe.
But see, now I'm thinking of your resume in the special skills category, and of course, there's now the can fight with your arms behind your back, but then also can spend an hour taking the perfect orange soda photo. So there we go.
Okay, great. All right. Orange soda photo master. I'll add
there you go. That's it. Yes.
Right.
You put master behind anything and all of a sudden it becomes amazing.
Yes.
Right?
Done.
Not sure how many roles you'll get because of that, but hey.
Hey, you never know. There could be that one.
That's right.
That's true.
Totally. Yeah, it's all that matters. Definitely. Well, Hunter, it has been a delight talking with you, and we look forward to more people checking out Power Rangers Dino Fury. The first half of season 1 is now available on Netflix, so go check it out.
Thank you so much for having me.